Here we go again.
The nice refreshing
the
sound.
nectar.
Jason, what are you drinking?
Oh, it's just a wonderful, cool, crisp Dr. Pepper Zero.
Wow. Looks so refreshing.
So good.
It's great. It makes me burpy during the podcast, but that's okay. It's
That's
worth
what
it.
you look for in a podcast, is something that will make you belch.
Anyway, we'll get back to that later. How you guys been doing?
The ball's in your
You
court.
guys doing all right? Yeah, the ball's
I
in your
don't know
court.
how I'm doing
Dr.
anymore.
Pepper.
You know what? I have come to a new stage in my life,
Oh, boy.
guys.
It's called the decline.
Yeah, my oldest daughter is officially a senior. We've wrapped up a marching band.
She's 65?
I know, a senior.
AARP.
There's discussions of colleges and things of that nature, and I don't get it. I just
So, John, college is a higher education institute. In England, they call it uni. We're going to uni.
Or
to university.
Yeah, university. It's for people that have actual brains.
And ambition to have a career. See, I'm glad we could educate you on this, John. I don't get it.
Thank you for
What
helping
are
me out
these
with that, Jared.
colleges?
Jared, that's not what I was trying to say. I got this weird spread going on. I have a 4-year-old in my house and a high school senior that's talking about going to college. I don't know what to do now. I just don't even know.
Neither one of them can clean their room.
That's right. Actually, I think the 4-year-old does a better job cleaning his room. But it's probably the fact.
Yeah.
But it's funny to me that,
I just got 3 kids that fight nonstop, and they're all mean to each other. But then they get along like the greatest friends in the world. They're hugging and hey, you want to go dig a giant hole in the backyard? Do I? And all 3 of them be out there knee deep in mud, and then 10 minutes later they're punching each other again. So
It's
I don't
weird.
know.
It's weird. Mine go through the seasons. And it's not like quickly.
What do you mean the seasons?
Of hating each other or loving each other. Like right now, all my kids are in a I get along with you phase. Like they're all getting along perfectly. Like the 2
entire
oldest
day?
ones don't even fight. Yeah,
They don't
they're
poke
doing
each other?
fine. No, well they get a little angry, but
Like
once
every
they don't
movie
fight
where the
right
3
now.
kids are in the back and one of them's just poking the other one until they
See, my
get
kids don't
smacked.
do that.
Mine
They
do
might
that.
never
Really?
have. I mean, they fight. The 2 oldest fight. They're 2 older boys. They will fight, but it goes through times. Like right now, they're not doing that, and it's weird because they just started sharing a bedroom again, and they're not
their
fighting.
choice?
Yeah, it
Eli-
basically was. I mean,
Eli is this very large young man that is Jason's oldest, and he's decided he's going to defend his siblings to the death.
oh yeah, it's his
Your kids were over at
lot
the
in
house,
life.
and they were playing with dart guns, and I was told that it was witnessed that Avery accidentally shot Michael in the head with one, and he immediately apologized, said, "Sorry, Michael." And then Eli wasn't having it. He was gonna punch Avery in the nose. You can't shoot my brother.
I didn't. Don't blame me for that.
Honestly, and I said, "Did Michael even react?" Because that kid, you could
No, he
you could
didn't care.
hit him with a door, and he just
He
looked at
doesn't
you like,
care.
"What'd you do that for?" So he wasn't upset about it.
Plus, he can't be mad because he punches me all the time.
That's very
I
funny.
just thought it's funny that come to that little guy's defense.
It's pretty. Yeah, well,
I
try
love-
to mess with his little sister.
I love that I have, again, my 2 oldest kids are sisters. And I find it funny that they will argue and be that way. And then they are 2 of the best friends in the entire world. And I swear that is absolutely the truth. Those 2 are a unit to be reckoned with. And I pity the guy that gets involved with either of those 2 in the future, because the other one is going to absolutely demolish that poor guy. It's just going to happen. They are the best of friends, and then they will be the meanest to each other.
Yeah, see, my kids, my 2 oldest aren't that way. They will never be the best of friends,
Those 2
but they're
are.
getting along. They don't fight now.
So, Jason, why have you gathered us here today? What is this all about?
Speaking of best of friends,
Why can't we be friends?
our best friends like to post comments on our YouTube videos
And they are all
every
friends.
time, and they're just so friendly
we
and
know
helpful.
that it's coming from a friendly place within them.
But specifically, we've been getting a lot of friends lately telling us that we're idiots,
Out of touch.
and a detriment to society for thinking that a certain price point of guitar is a valuable or a value guitar, or a
Affordable.
beginner guitar, or affordable guitar. And we're speaking
Are you
of
insane.
around
$4,000 is
2,000,
affordable.
between 1,500 and 4,000 is seems to be the sweet spot where we're told we are complete morons for thinking that anybody should ever pay that.
So we
so we
pose
wanna
the
discuss
question today: is there such thing as a working man's guitar?
And how much should you pay for a working man's guitar?
Yes. What is that threshold? That's what we're going to answer today. So stay tuned.
We're not going to answer anything. The premise of this, guys, you guys know the story. I'm going to fill the
I'm sure
folks
that
in
our
on.
friends at home all have opinions.
We do a lot of these videos on our YouTube channel.
Videos.
I don't know if you know what
Videos.
YouTube is. It's a place where to upload videos.
Some of you might be
specifically-
watching this on that
Yeah,
channel right
maybe
now
you
and not
will
know
be.
it.
But we do a lot of reviews of guitars, and there's specifically there's a bunch of short videos that we've done on YouTube and TikTok and whatnot, highlighting either my favorite one that we get is the underrated guitars.
Yeah.
And that's a very ambiguous statement. What is underrated? And everybody tells us what underrated is, even though they can't agree. So we get yelled at about that one. We'll post a guitar. Well, that's $3,000. How could it be underrated?
Virtually yelled at.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel their heat.
It's all caps.
But specifically, there's certain guitars like we'll say, best guitar to start out on or something like that. And there's always a sliding scale on that. And there's an argument for all these things. But the big one that's come up lately is the working man's guitar. You guys are out of touch. How can a working musician afford that guitar? And that really gets under my nerves because a
gets in
working
your craw.
musician, first of all, and I want to make this comparison. I want to jump right into this one, guys.
Go, buddy.
We're not even going to talk about the
Fire it up.
hobbyist.
I'm just gonna
He's
sit
hot.
back.
Preach it.
He's hot.
Anyway, working musician, right? First of all, these people don't know what a working musician is anyway, because they're the ones that won't pay $5 to go see him in a coffee shop, let alone help them afford a decent instrument. But if you think about it, so a working musician, if that's his full-time job, right? Compare that to any other industry. So I'm thinking mechanic, builder. So if you're going to build a house, Jeremy, what do you think you're going to spend on tools?
Well, I
start
happen
to
to know that tools are not inexpensive.
No,
you
I
need a lot of
specifically
different
have
ones.
experience
Okay,
recently in
here's the thing.
tools.
If you want to go old school, one of those hand saws, a hammer, and some nails can build you a house.
And one of those drills that you
Hand crank drill.
I guess that's working man's tools.
So-
is that. I mean, because that's.
But if you want it done
point.
well and easier for you and make the job easier and actually accomplish it within
yeah,
20
and
years,
then make money doing it.
you're going to need battery
What's
operated
your
power
guess?
tools. You're going to need a
So you're
table
looking at a
saws.
set of tools, $500
Miter
bucks,
saw.
right? $500
for a good
set of power
DeWalt
tools.
Oh, I bet it's more than that. Because
No,
I
I
think
just bought
officially
DeWalt a couple years ago.
isn't, but that's no longer.
That's
the
drill,
real ones. It's
impact,
Milwaukee. It's Milwaukee.
circular
Milwaukee's
saw. It's the same
Milwaukee
price.
now.
Either way. So you go
Harbor
to
Freight.
even go to Harbor Freight, you're going to spend $500 for a set of just your hand tools. Then you got to get into a miter saw. I just bought one of those. It's $400 to $500.
sliding compound miter saw.
Yeah, you got to get if you're going to do any of that crown molding, you're going to need that. What else are we talking about here, Jeremy?
You're going to need a hammer.
A good hammer? Those
good
are
tape
30,
measure,
40 bucks right there.
What
tape
about
measure.
what about a power hammer?
Is anybody
nail
keeping
gun.
track of all this stuff? Yeah.
Okay, a compressor.
Compressor.
But nowadays we're also getting into the battery operated
speed square
nail
Those are
expensive.
$4
But that's a luxury item. John.
framing
Come
nail.
On.
So
now you're talking.
with a nailer. You got to get a framing nailer. Then you
Finish
have to get
nailer?
a finish nailer.
Sometimes a
Then-
stapler.
You gotta have a stapler.
A roofing nailer? Have you? I mean, come on.
True.
Yeah,
I made this
But if we're
analogy.
talking about a comparison here, the pro guitar, a tool for your trade, a snap-on tool box. Tool box is $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy for somebody that's not in the tool industry.
So, I mean, that argument already is completely.
Let's say,
blown out of the
Jason, if we're following this, you want to be a photographer. What might one spend on a good quality camera?
I feel like we're being
and
too
a
snarky
high
right now,
quality
guys.
lens. No, a lens
lot.
in general. Like a good what do we got? A200. What are our cameras? A750
FR9er. Niner.
A7
Niner.
BRAW Sony.
Niner.
Those are $3,000, right? Roughly
For
the camera.
a good, so
SLR.
there's a lot of levels. So
Not
Tom,
what you paid for it, by the way.
Speaking of Sony, I know. Speaking of Sony, it depends on what you're going for. So the overall, what they consider the top of the line prosumer camera is the A7 IVs,
What I said.
which are they're right around $2,500 to buy.
By the way,
right?
the term,
without a lens.
That's
the
what I was gonna
term
say.
was just said. You just said prosumer.
I know. To
That
get
does
into the actual
not-
professional photographer, the
this is the
A1s
working
or the
man's.
A9.
The working
I
man's.
know. Well, those are working man also. That's the A1 is the number one photography camera in the world. Those are $5,000 plus a lens, a decent prime
I
lens.
say, if you're really going to go for lenses, that's where
One
the price
single
kicks in.
good G Master lens is going to get you about $2,500. So $8,000 probably your whole
You're
kit.
going to need your batteries. You're going to need your memory cards. You're going to need
Memory
your
cards are expensive.
light system. I mean, these
If
lights.
you're doing video, it really gets expensive.
And you know, when we make this channel, we're speaking from growing up in bluegrass music. Every musician spends thousands of dollars on their instruments. There are, and these are the joke is the running joke is the musician will show up with a $5,000 guitar and $3,000 PA system, driving a $400 car that's breaking down along the way. Like they put the money into the gear that makes the job easier. Dad he wanted us to have good instruments. He would
make it
actually do without in other areas of life to make sure we had
Our
good quality
housing.
instruments. And
Like
housing.
literally, when we moved out of Colorado as kids, we were living in a low-income housing development. And part of that was again the priorities of what he felt for our family. It was more important to have this unity of a band and music to play together and having the kind of instruments to be able to do that than to put it into a luxury apartment or luxury vehicles or any of those kind of situations. So I guess we just made this podcast very short. What is your priority? End of story. Done. No,
There's
such
other
thing.
roads to go down. So we're supposed
But
to.
when we were on the road, we did know lots of musicians that spent at least $3,000 on their instruments, especially when you talk about
People
mandolins.
we know
They're just-
put up mortgages,
There were-
second mortgages to get.
there were no
instruments.
mandolin options out there under $4,000 to get a really good F-style mandolin for a long period of time. Then they would have a Calton case or a Mark Leaf case. Those cases cost $800 to $1,000 each. When we put this into perspective, it's not just us saying, "Oh, for us elitists, these are really affordable working musicians." No, that's what we grew up in. That's what musicians used.
And like I said, that's the number one that gets under my nerves because they want to purport to be supporting these working musicians and know what the working musician is, even though they're just hobbyists, speaking their own truths and opinions. So I mean, the working musician thing, it just completely just goes way out of. There is an argument for the hobbyist, which I can make an argument both ways. I understand. So.
And honestly, you can be a working musician playing a $300 guitar.
Yeah, there's
I'm
no
not saying that
argument
can't be done. It's just
True
just like
that.
having the
you don't
handsaw,
want to.
just like having the handsaw and the hammer. The job's a lot easier and more pleasant to do if you have the right tool for it.
And last you
These
longer,
quality
and does-
instruments it make you sound better. You play easier. Like a good musician, Chris Lee can make a junky mandolin sound really good. It's a lot harder than on his, which plays like butter. I mean, they're set up better. They play better. Anyone that has upgraded their
When you get to
instrument
his
better
level, I
ones-
was just watching a interview with him, and he gets into that whole. He now has two lures that he feels like he can't play anything but those lures because it gets to a feeling. And his words were very eloquent, and I will totally
Butcher it.
match that. Right, but he was talking about the fact that he could play that, and these are the only instruments that can get his expression across, the actual feeling that he's putting out. The only instruments that he knows of are these two lures, and specifically the one he had there that can express every bit of all of his musicality and all that. So, I mean, that's a sliding scale there alone, but
again, he could play very incredibly on a $500 mandolin. It's just not. if you're doing this for a living, it is worth that investment for a better quality.
Yeah.
So can I put this into another perspective though and defend some of these guys?
I wish you would.
This is something I think.
Dare you?
Well, I want
Judas.
to.
Dare
I think this
Judas.
goes down to a definition of what they're trying to say, and I was thinking about this while you guys were speaking because I don't listen to you. I'm thinking of the more important things that I want to say.
Great question, John. Oh, sorry. What?
Which is a working man's guitar. In their head, this is what I imagine they're saying is, I'm a working person. I barely have this much extra money to sit around. Not a working musician, but a working man. So again, this goes down to that priorities game. So in their defense, maybe that is the deal. I get that idea. You know, like my kids who are wanting to get into, what is it recently? Baseball, Everett's wanting to get into. There's only so much money I have to spend on gear for that at the end of the month. I'm a working person. I only have so much in our budget. This is what our house costs. This is what the expenses of the cars and whatever happens to be. And that's my
luxury jet.
extra. I'm a working man. I don't find that extra gear necessary for my kid to be able to be successful playing baseball. Maybe that's the argument that they're trying to make.
It's semantics. Are they saying the working man's budget or the working musician's budget? But
Either
there can be
way.
arguments with that too.
Either way, I think it's disingenuous for them to want
That I agree with.
a hand-built piece of equipment that will last them forever and do what they want and
Or to judge anybody who is making.
well, that's what I was
those
going to say. So
decisions.
using the tool analogy, I buy the cheap tools because I know, like I bought the best thing, Craftsman, middle of the line stuff, right? And I bought DeWalt, which is middle of the line. You know, it's not professional. It's not. Excuse me.
How rude.
But you know what I'm saying. I go to Harbor Freight and I buy a tool. My justification is I'm going to use this 3 times a year. I'm not going to use it every day. But I sure don't judge people that buy Snap-on being professional, and I don't judge them even if they're not professional. If they want to buy that and they find the value in that, I'm not going to get online and say, "What are you doing?" Well, you know you can get the same thing from Temu. And it's true. I mean,
people
that's
make
the
it.
frustrating point
Temu.
with me, by the way.
No, I agree, and it's not also. Well, here's another side to that. When we're saying this is a great value, you can't check all the boxes. I remember like some of those mechanic shops would have. You get to pick 3, you know, fast, quality, or some other thing cheap. But pick 2 of the 3, something like that. You can't have all 3. You can have fast and cheap, but it won't be good quality, or you can have fast and good quality, won't be cheap. People I want American made. I want these craftsmen that have spent the last 40 years of their life perfecting this so that it's the best sounding guitar, but I want it under $400.
And the highest quality of woods, and I want it to last. And
Like, you can't have, like, if you've got a luthier that has spent the last 30 years, he went to a school, he apprenticed probably for a few years without getting paid hardly anything. We even talked about this with some of these manufacturers. The amount of them that get damaged or something halfway through the build where they already have 40, 50 hours of work into it, and that entire guitar is now getting trashed because they can't sell it to a customer. So that's lost revenue, and not only lost revenue, it's lost money that they paid a luthier to work on that guitar, and all that guy's skill and the hourly wage that he's
built
getting.
in cost.
It's built into that cost. That it adds up. Like if you're giving him an hourly rate that he deserves because he's been building guitars for 30 years and he can do something that most people can't do, you know, he gets to demand a higher wage, and because of that, the price of the guitar goes up. You can't have both the highest quality instrument, the best woods, made in America, a luthier that's so skilled that, you know, he's in demand, and I want it to be under $1,000 because that's the only thing. Any guitar over $1,000 is wasted money. So it's perspective. I mean, baseball players are paid millions of dollars because there's only 1 out of every 100,000 that could do the job they do. These luthiers obviously aren't quite as entertaining to watch, but to demand those wages. But these guys are very skilled.
I will sit there and watch
Specialized.
guitar building videos forever.
I think a lot of it comes down to, here's my opinion, and we're just getting into the to the hobbyist part of it too. I think there's an undervalue of music and the tools to make music overall. I think that people look at instruments, the general public looks at instruments as just a niche thing that nobody really needs. They're all the same. You could buy a $100 guitar that could do the same thing as everything else. And it's that overall undervalue of what makes music and art. And
I think it goes a little further than that, Jay. I think it's undervalued
of course you do.
Things that you don't know about. Because I think you can make
I think
that
there's
argument.
an overall argument for music, because think about that. You go downtown, you're so undervaluing music in general. You can't even spend $5 to tip the person playing music for you for the last 3 hours.
But you're spending $8 on each drink that you
exactly. You're tipping your wait staff more than you are the musician, and completely undervaluing, underpaying attention to it. Music has become just a basic commodity that is given to us. So,
I'll give you some of that factor, but in the connection with what the price of the instruments are, I think this is with any form of anything. Let's say a quilter.
Here's my argument to counter that, though, John. Like, there are other hobbies that people find value in. You talk about your kids starting sports. These people will buy their kids a $500 bat and find that valuable. But if their kid wanted to play guitar, they're going to find the cheapest guitar they could find. And it's always that way. Golf clubs. You're going to buy your kid the first set of golf clubs for $500 or $600. And the range of golf clubs are, from $200 to $3,000 maybe. They don't see the value in a handmade tool to get them into a hobby.
And I agree with you and disagree with you at the same time. And I know this is what Jason always gives me that face, that same exact face. That's the one. Is I think we all do this. I got to be perfectly honest with you guys. If one of my kids wanted to start out with golf, it's a different scale than what I would give him for starting out for instruments. When I went out and got instruments for the kids, I did this. But again, if they came to me for golf, I'd look for a $50 set. I'd go find something used on Facebook because I personally don't know enough about it to make that value.
And that might be the case that these people that are speaking from the rafters are not very
Did you
educated
just tell them they're not smart, Jeremy?
They're not educated on the industry, because the same thing can be said about all the different hobbies.
agree.
Like John loves fishing. Walmart has some very inexpensive fishing gear. You can buy a rod and reel with all the tackle box included for $29. If you're really into fishing, you'll notice the difference in
John,
the quality.
You're on those videos on YouTube for fishing. Do they get the same comments? You've got to be kidding me! $1,000 reel?
They do. They genuinely do.
So it's just people being hateful.
We live in the Ozarks where bass fishing is huge, and people all the time are like, man, my guitar collection is just getting so expensive. And even those are people that even appreciate these as not just, hey, I want a guitar to be able to play G chord and strum. They really appreciate the art that goes into it, the craftsmanship and the brand legacy of these brands. So they appreciate it, but they're like, man, it's just adding up so much. Yet I know some of these bass fishers that it's $80,000 for their bass boat.
Minimum.
And then they have to have docking fees and they have to have a trailer to go with it. And if you're going to have a $80,000 bass boat, you need a $150,000 truck.
Yeah. There's a space that I don't even know. It's not my world at all. I don't know what a good shotgun would cost. I have zero.
And I don't know the difference in the killing the deer. Which one kills the deer better?
I have zero idea. And my kids, we bought, and I did spend money on this, I have to say, because we were connected with McPherson. So I did buy the better bow for my daughter to get started in. It's tied into Matthews, but it's the competition one for kids and young adults. I did spend on that. But if you were to talk to me about Matthews bows and how much they are, I don't even know. I really don't. But my assumption is they're ridiculous. And I guarantee you go on those forums and there's somebody saying there's a Chinese version of that one that outperforms that level of space. And you guys are
that'd be interesting to see, because I know those guys just spend the money. Like they revel in the fact that it's more expensive. They find value in it being more expensive. The guys I've ever known, they're like, that's the only one.
Oh, I find your bow's only $800.
To go down this world one more,
which can also be said true in guitars too. They all get together in jam sessions. Go, oh, I see you're playing that Eastman. Here's my Santa Cruz.
The guy, the one, another analogy that I have that I just cannot understand, and I have to fight myself from doing the same thing that we're discussing here, is the people who soup up their vehicles. I have never understood this entire phenomenon. A guy who buys a truck that spent 70 grand on a truck, and first thing he has to do is totally rebuild, put an LS9 motor in it, and rebuild put some rims on it, and change out the muffler system, and then do this and that and whatever. And I don't get it.
Underlighting. Boy, my oldest boy is really excited about underlighting. He really thinks I need to light up the bottom of my truck.
And again, but those people find that value in that.
You guys have got into the campers a little bit, and you are on the definite low end of that, but talk about a market that costs money. Like some of these people that they could have a camper worth more than most people's homes. People don't go to them. What? I can't believe you did that. It's $1 million motorhome. It is just
maybe it's just a fact here. Maybe that's our.
I think
problem.
we got to the root of it, guys.
We have a YouTube channel.
It's
and
internet
trolls. These people are hateful.
We have got, and we focus, and they're the people who want to say this stuff, because I guess in the end. Again, I guess maybe that's what we're pleading for you, the viewer of these podcasts and videos. Come out and tell people why you believe that this is worth that kind of stuff, instead of letting these people continue to downgrade what the value of
some people may not get other
space.
People's intent. Like why do you want this $4,000 guitar? If you're just wanting to strum, you can buy a $300 guitar and it still makes the sounds. But there's the appreciation for the art form, the craftsmanship. You're paying extra. Why does somebody pay more money for a really nice designer couch or chair? You sit in it, but there's a designer that it was renowned for building this
electronic
furniture.
toilets. Or speaking about
or
just
genuine nice
flushing
rugs,
money down the
ties the room together, y'all.
But the same people are willing to spend $1,000 to $2,000 every 2 years for a new cell phone. And think, that's just fine. Yeah, we use that a lot. Yeah. You could get away with a button phone.
By the way, I saw where was I? Oh, there was a father at some sort of event with the kids, and we were all taking pictures with our nice cell phones. And there's a guy flipped open his phone. He's like, I am proud of you, sir. You are my hero.
May I take a picture of you taking a picture, sir?
What we come to is this podcast was pointless.
No, I think we're going to stick to our guns. We believe there's value behind these. We are shooting from the hip when we say this is an actual affordable guitar in the scheme of guitars. And I can understand why some of them are $20,000 and $30,000. We have seen these luthiers that build these, the cost of the wood. And when you're looking at the wood, it's not just the wood that's on the guitar. They have to source it. They have to find vendors that mills. And a lot of most of the luthiers we know will go out and pick the tree that I want from that tree, spend the money to go do that, have it milled, do all these special things. There's so much cost and expertise in every step of that yes, a $30,000 justifies that price tag.
Plus, in the end, I'm telling you, everybody has their opinion. I wish they'd keep it to themselves because, no, honestly though, why do you need to tell other people your opinion? I don't need your opinion. If you ask for my opinion, I'll give it to you, but I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. That's what's frustrating, because the most expensive instruments we have in this shop are affordable to someone that wants it. And it doesn't mean they're rich. It just means that's what they want.
I guess that's a great comparison.
And that's what frustrates me. And that's what my mama told me is if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it. I don't get on your channel and tell you you're a moron for your opinion.
You just tell me I'm a moron and tell me to shut up.
All the time. But that's my prerogative. I'm in business with you.
No, it's something that has been driving me nuts, and I guess it's part of our culture now, the social media culture, which is this last few weeks has been, I want to do it all the time, which is I have a steadfast rule for myself, and every once in a while I want to break it, but I can't, which is I will not make a political social media post. One, because I see too many people that do it that doesn't make any sense. Second, usually they don't even have any justification for it, because most of the time the post is false, easily proved to be wrong, easily inaccurate, and they'll post it anyway in order to get somebody out there to make them feel better about an opinion that they have.
I want to get to the deep root of the problem, that in my opinion, And I've been just stated.
goodness.
I just stated
Couldn't
that
you start the
I shouldn't be
podcast
giving
with
my
this?
opinion, but I know you guys are asking for it right now. But the problem is, everybody has such a narrow view of the world around them that the only thing that's important is what affects them. The only thing that's important is what affects them, and it affects them. Everybody else has to change. And that's what, case in point, there's this stupid bidding thing. Me and John were discussing this the other day, and I thought the posts were hilarious. So there's this stupid online bidding thing we've all been going to. You go to the warehouse and you pick up what you want. They just moved to a bigger warehouse. Half of the comments on their Facebook were, well, you just lost a customer. You're further away from me now, and I ain't going that way. And what drives me crazy is you know how long it took me to realize, you know what, half the people are going to be upset and half of them are going to be happy because half the people are going to be closer and half of them are going to be further away. It's closer to me now. I don't go there anymore, but
You will.
The whole point of that is, why do you have to get on there and say, well, I'm mad now because you moved further away from me?
made a
I don't
decision
care.
that
Yeah, you
affected me.
made a business decision that affected me and you've lost one customer. Well, in my mind, I'm like, well, they probably gained a few more. So why do I need to tell them that they screwed up?
I think we've answered all these questions, but let's continue to answer the questions. It's priorities. Everybody has different things in life that they enjoy. I know for years I could never understand somebody that would spend a lot of money on a dinner, go out to dinner or go out to drinks and enjoy a
Well,
night
that's
of
my
drinks.
wife. I
was like,
can't
I could
understand it.
never understand somebody spending $100 on a meal. And then I've had a couple of them. It's like, okay, if I had a little bit more, I understand there's a difference in this food versus McDonald's. I could have got that same meal I could have got a hamburger
McDonald's
there
a
for
whole nother
$5. It's the same thing.
Priorities.
It's priorities. Is what you
Again,
enjoy.
in my household,
Again,
my wife likes a good meal.
Do they get on?
expensive meal.
Do they get on any of these foodies places and say, I could buy that same ramen noodle for 95 cents if I get the ramen brand?
They do.
Oh, well,
Unfortunately, they
I
shouldn't.
think
but
there's
they
slightly
do.
different flavor between the two.
Do you think so?
I believe so. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm pretty set on the cube of.
I'll
ramen
still eat
noodles.
that from time to time. I mean, don't get me
I've
wrong.
seen some people really fancy up those ramen noodles too. They
Add
get
some chicken slices.
a little egg on top.
Oh, what? This is also
My point is, it's your priorities, what you enjoy out of life, and that's why we're working, right? It's not just for
I think-
survival. We want something that we enjoy doing, and we all choose different places that we value the money enough to say, I'll spend the money on that, but not. I don't understand why you're
think-
spending the money on that.
I think that's the final say on this is it's all about what your priorities are. I know people that will use 70% of their income for their home. And that's the most important thing to them. It has to be of a grand scale and the interior perfect. And that's what makes them happy. And that's where they're best to be able to, to roll. I'm not that person. I would rather put my things into instruments or, hobbies like I did. I spent a bunch of money on a fishing rod and reel, and it made me feel good for a period of time. You got to sit there and go, I get it. This is not for me, but somebody out there does recognize how great that is. And again, I can't spend 70% of my income on my home. It doesn't work that way.
No.
But it doesn't mean somebody else is stupid for doing it.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Just be nice, guys.
Realize we all have different
We
priorities.
don't really need your opinions. You don't need my opinions. Nobody needs your opinions or my opinions or yours.
Then why are we having this channel if they don't
just
need my
talking.
opinions?
We're sharing them for anybody that wants to.
We're giving insight. Anyway, I think that's the thing. Let's be nice to
So
everybody.
to answer the final question, is there such thing as a working man's guitar?
I think there is, but there's no.
What is a working man's guitar?
Well, yeah, exactly. It
That's the
depends on the
question.
working man.
That's the real
again,
question.
just like every other, like tools. There's working
Jeff
men. with-
Bezos is a working man, and he can afford a pretty expensive guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
I guarantee he's got one of them D3 million guitars.
I think that's the whole thing. Your perspective is what changes, and quit assuming that everybody's perspective is yours. That's all I can
in
say.
life and politics and religion,
Everything.
and hobbies.
That's it. So there is no specific. And when we say it's a value, we're trying to look at multiple aspects of this instrument to say, compared to other things in its general vicinity, make, model, quality, style, tone, this is a good value because it checks a few boxes. We're not saying it's the best value or that everybody should
is
start
not
here
cheaper.
and buy this. This is not the cheapest thing.
I mean, that's
in
it.
our
Is
opinion,
value
it's
doesn't
good.
necessarily mean cheap. Like when you say this is a good value, it doesn't mean this is the least expensive instrument. It means
And
for all
underrated
those
can
things.
be anywhere from $100 to $10,000 or $100,000. If it's underrated, it's underrated. Bugattis are probably underrated.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't either, but I
Their
assume
oil
to somebody.
changes cost more than our entire guitar collection.
I'm just assuming to somebody they're like, "Well, Bugattis aren't that great," and they probably are great. That means they're underrated.
Yeah, sure. Point taken, Jason. Thank you. You've changed my mind. I'm going to quit commenting in all these channels that you're an idiot.
I've just changed the world.
Well, there you go. I'd like to hear what the people at home think. I know there's going to be some out there that totally agree with us and say, yes, they can be expensive, but it's worth it because of all that goes into it. And others are going to say, you're stupid. I still think my $300 guitar is better than anything you sell.
I wish we would have said something coherent that they could agree with. Because I don't think they can agree with anything we said because I don't think we made any sense.
Well, I think they can all agree that Dr. Pepper Zero is a fine beverage that everyone should have in their home. Would you like a case of that in your house? Well, yes, you would, and you should get some.
It is 12 fluid ounces, 0 grams of fat, 60 grams of sodium, milligrams of sodium. Grams would be a lot, wouldn't it? 0 carbs, sugars, added sugars, and protein.
That's a salty Dr. Pepper. It makes you want another. You're so thirsty. All right. Thank you guys for joining us for another
Balls in your court, Dr. Pepper.
Knows people and sometimes knows things where we discuss.
I think I'm
the
hoping they're
topics of the
using
day.
AI because I know nobody's going to watch this, but I'm hoping they're using AI to comb through all the online stuff.
All mentions of Dr. Pepper.
And then like all of a sudden there's 100 mentions of Diet Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper Zero.
Dr. Pepper Zero.
Let's look into this podcast.
Balls in your court, Dr. Pepper. That's the one. That's the line they're going to be like.
You know what I don't
the
get
heck is that?
is somebody that thinks a can of soda's affordable or
it's not
of
affordable.
value.
It's got crazy.
It's real expensive now.
Holy smokes.
I should not be drinking this. This is why I need
why
a
you're trying to get it
sponsor.
for free.
This is why at the end of the month we have no money left.
My kids are going
Soda
hungry
budget.
because I'm drinking too much
Priorities,
soda.
man. It's all about priorities.
Yeah.
Somebody had to put a lot of thought into developing that that recipe and
It's pretty good.
the can and
It is an improvement.
marketing.
All right.
It's worth it.
This is me signing off saying,
Oh, I was going to tell them about my favorite beverage
what is it?
and expense on those
Booze?
bourbons and the price
Why would
differences.
anyone pay that? I can get
I know.
old
I can get drunk on bathtub gin.
I got
Turlet
one,
wine.
My wife was cracking me up when I got that one bottle that we took this year for you guys to know. I know we're supposed to close this thing down, but every year, if we have a successful year, Jason allows us on the company's dime to get one
I don't allow nothing.
really nice. Jeremy does. Sorry, I meant Jeremy. Allows us to have one nice bottle
I buy
of something.
you guys one. I mean,
bought
the
my own
company
this year.
buys it, but
And I picked out one. And when I first started doing getting those, she just could not understand this at all. This does not make any sense that anybody would spend $100 on a bottle of something. It doesn't make any sense. You drink it, it's going to disappear. It's all gone. And there's a value to it. There's
Well,
something
If
special.
we're gonna get into
$100
that-
bottle of shampoo she's
I'm gonna
washing down the
Exactly.
drain every other day.
I'm gonna contradict all of my earlier statements and say wine. That goes bad. At least with
You get
whiskey,
2 days to finish.
yeah. At least
it.
with whiskey, it lasts a year or so.
By the way, I still have the first bottle that we bought. I still have some of it left. I can't.
Anyway, let's not go down
You know,
that road.
it goes bad after a while.
It does.
Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. What do you think is worth your money? Please put that in the comments, and we will not read them.
The acoustic shop's worth your money. This podcast, you should be paying us for this.
You got your entire money's worth listening to this podcast for what it costs. Why is he doing that?
The Acoustic Shop knows people. Handmade by Trent Pruitt, Hinkley Hinkleston, and Jason Chapman for The Acoustic Shop.
Theme song written and performed by Ofer Koren.
And please remember to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.